When women come together, they can create a powerful force for healing and hope. And that's exactly what the authors of Heart Warrior have done. This new book is a collection of stories from 12 women who have overcome adversity with heart, humanness, and unwavering courage. They share their personal experiences of loss, heartbreak, and professional challenges, and offer a roadmap for anyone looking to discover their own inner strength. Led by Women's Biz Global founder Annie Gibbins, these co-authors share their life hacks, lessons, and greatest moments when discovering their own inner heart warrior. These are women who wear their hearts on their sleeves, who are unstoppable in their pursuits to lead change, who know what it means to be brave, and who are a warriors in life, love, and business. They thrive off passion and purpose-fueled anecdotes, and they're here to inspire you to find your own inner warrior. This purpose-driven anthology is a must-read on how to live life fully, authentically, and bravely. With a foreword written by the incredible Lumbie Mlambo, Heart Warrior is a powerful reminder that we all have the power to overcome adversity and live life the way we truly want. Get your copy of Heart Warrior today and start unleashing your own inner heart warrior. When women come together, they can create a powerful force for healing.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome those who are viewing on all of our platforms. Welcome to the launch of Heart Warrior. We are super excited to have you all come and join. Which is our lovely, lovely book that you can see here. And we're going to have as many of our authors come online. Our authors are from all around the world, so we appreciate those in America. It's like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. They have just dug deep to get here. We've got some other Aussies on the line, and we also have Ali who's in the UK. So welcome for everybody who's viewing on YouTube, Facebook, maybe Instagram, definitely on Twitter. And also we are trying a new webinar function today. So all of you who are watching online as well on this new function, you have the opportunity to also just drop something in the chat to us and we will be able to speak with our authors. So first of all, I'd love for everyone to meet the authors that we have online at the moment. We might start with you, Ali.
Hello, Annie. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And I should firstly say, not only have I had the opportunity to be a co-author with incredible other co-authors for Heart Warrior, I've also had the opportunity to work behind the scenes with Annie at Women's Biz Publishing, and it's been an absolute joy being on the front row seat, if you like, in the creation of this incredible anthology, to witness and read some incredible stories that are from those who have overcome adversity, loss, love, becoming, belonging. And I know that through reading this book, it really will have the opportunity to impact and change lives. And we all have an inner heart warrior. And I think it's wonderful that we can unleash that. So thank you so much, Annie.
Thank you so much. And Ali works behind the scenes with Women's Biz Global, and therefore is our main overseer of our publishing. And so it is so wonderful to have her skill and expertise, and to surround our new authors, our budding authors, and now international authors who are often publishing for the first time. It's huge experience, and it's just so wonderful to be able to feel them nurtured. So if you're watching and you actually think, gee, I'd love to author a book, you must make sure that you drop your details in the chat or reach out to me, because we can get you in one of our upcoming anthologies. I'd love to welcome Amy. Amy is coming from Cameroon, and oh my goodness, what time is it? 10 a.m. We're in all different time zones. So Pei-Ming, would you like to just briefly introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure, definitely. This is Sunny. I am original from Taiwan, but now I live in the United States. This is such an honor for me to participate and write this book. And it's been a journey for myself the past 3 years, and just shift everything I'm supposed to be. And I'm so honored to have an opportunity to share my 5 phases of my life-changing events with all other amazing authors here. For me, really, the journey is from our conditioned mind into this amazing heart. And everybody can do it. It's just sometimes we don't want to do it yet. But I really encourage everybody, if you really want to live a full life, get this book first and read my story and read others. Then you can be inspired and know, I can do it too. So that is really the vibration we can share around the globe, and let everybody become more confident about their capacities with your powerful heart. So back to you, Annie.
Oh, goodness me.
That was beautiful. That was
so
very beautiful. Wow.
Sorry about that. I was just playing with my switches and I got myself confused. That was so beautiful. And I absolutely love, love, love your chapter. I love all of the chapters. I've just been spending the week, I've just been away for the week, and I tell you what, you can just read them over and over again, and you just feel so connected. You know, you might just think, oh, it's only one chapter each. Every chapter here is showing such insight into these beautiful women's spirit, their soul, their journey, the power that they've actually channeled, if you like, and embraced through often times of adversity, and really come out the other side. And I absolutely love, love, love your energy. All right, we're going to go over to Helen. Welcome, Helen.
Hello. I hope you can hear me okay.
Yes, wonderful.
Good. Hello, Annie, and hello, Ali, and hello, all the other co-authors. It's my privilege to have been able to participate in such an amazing anthology. The authors are absolutely wonderful heart warriors. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And I do hope that the book will be received with much anticipation about hearing what each of us have to say, and how we have come through with challenges that we face in daily life, and the things that move us forward and motivate us with love, inspiration, and certainly the journey of a heart warrior. So I do hope that the success would be amazing. I know that we've got people all around the world going to read this amazing book, and I definitely would encourage people to get their copy either through Annie's website store or from Amazon. Thank you. Bye for now.
Excellent. Absolutely. You can get that from womensbizpublishing.com. I will also put the details in the chat, and I'll put a QR code up in a minute. And you all also can get Women's Biz. You can do it by Women's Biz Shopping. We've also got it up on Amazon. It's on hard copy and soft copy at the moment. It will be on Kindle in the next week. So we'll let everybody know as soon as it gets on Kindle, because we're going to have a super, super special there as well. And you want to tell all of your friends to get your hands on this book. I'm now going to introduce you to the beautiful Sharon Lynne.
Hello, Annie. Hello, Ali. Thank you so much. I feel so honored to be a part of these amazing stories. And I really don't know. I didn't prepare anything, to be quite honest. I didn't know what to expect. But having read, I think, most of the stories, and having been a storyteller, or I thought I was a storyteller all my life, seriously, I feel very inadequate. And I don't mean that in a weak way. I'm just enthralled and inspired by everybody's story, because everybody's been through so much. And I think that each story, people out there will relate to each story. And I think that it's an amazing idea that you've put together, Annie. And I'm so honored to be part of it. And just there are some stories, as I said to Helen, your story made me absolutely cry. And I'm sure that there will be people who read your story, and others, of course, but your story in particular got to me. And so I don't know what it was. So thank you for sharing your vulnerability. And I think that from reading these stories, I couldn't help but find my own vulnerability, because I'm one of these people who have never wanted to expose my weakness or my vulnerability. But Annie, this book has really taught me how to be humble with vulnerability. So thank you.
Oh, thank you, Sharon, for being so brave. Like, it is a brave thing to bare your soul, to actually, it's so powerful once you've done it, and once it's actually in print and you read your story and go, yes, that's my truth, that's my story, even if it's been challenging, even if it's just been, it brings you to tears even rewriting it. It's so therapeutic, but it's so valuable to those who are reading it. It's so powerful, but it isn't easy. And so for those of you who are also watching thinking, I wonder if I'd be brave enough to do that. It is a brave thing to actually be able to put yourself out into a book, and to allow other people, the honor and the privilege to be able to read your story. But that vulnerability, it's like, oh my gosh, if you've sort of shone away from that before in the past, anyone watching, absolutely, it is a normal response, because it is scary. It's scary writing for the first time. But once you do, I tell you what, once you've done it, you feel like why wouldn't you? Why, you'd be robbing the world of hearing a little bit about you, learning from your experience, connecting with you in a way. I love the way you said that about Helen. I agree. The story makes you cry. But in a way that is just so beautiful, because you honor her for sharing that, her vulnerability to be able to get to that sort of position, and also for us to read about other people's journeys and to realize, how diverse we all are as women, how incredibly different and challenging and unpredictable life can be, but also how strong we can become because of those experiences. So well done, all of you beautiful ladies, for being able to put yourself in that place. And I'm so glad that Women's Biz Publishing could actually support you in doing that, because now I know you're going to be unstoppable, seriously unstoppable. We also had some beautiful authors who may be able to make it, but also appreciating that they also maybe in different time zones. We have the beautiful Karen Weaver. Karen is also Karen McDermott, but she writes under Karen Weaver, and she is a beautiful, beautiful publisher. She's a dear friend of mine, and she has written an absolutely gorgeous chapter that you're going to enjoy. We also have Patty Grover, Patricia Jo Grover. I often introduce Patty as, a sister from another mister, almost she's on the other side of the world in Maine, from me in Sydney, Australia, and she's just a soul sister, and her story is absolutely yeah, breathtaking, amazing. She's had some incredible experiences. We also have Dr. Laura Cobb, who's also in US who lives in the US, and she is amazing. She's a professor of psychology. She does an incredible work with life coaching, and her story does have a bit of a disclaimer warning on it. There is a lot of sensitive material there, but it's so powerful. It's so powerful, and so I really honour you, Laura, Dr. Laura, if you're unable to get here. And we also have Dr. Talat Uppal, who is an obstetrician gynecologist in Sydney, Australia, at the Northern Beaches Hospital. She's at a wedding tonight, so we are often busy people, but that's okay. Dr. Talat's story is absolutely incredible, coming from India to Australia and then becoming, the dream of, that many of you might be watching of go, how do you pioneer into a space when you don't have role models? If you don't see a woman of color in medicine in a top position doing different things, when you've come from another country, it can be so challenging, but she's a pioneer. She's just pushing the envelope constantly all the time, and she is just such an inspiration to me and to all of us in this group. So I'd love to now also just go over to round the table at this beautiful opportunity for our launch tonight of Heart Warrior. If you're wanting to get Heart Warrior, you should be going to womensbizpublishing.com. You can get yourself a hard copy or a soft copy at the moment. It is also on Amazon and will go to Kindle in the next week. I'd love you, Ali, just to flick through your pages, and is there something of your chapter that you would just love to read? Just maybe one or two paragraphs. The other ladies can get ready. That might just give us a little taster, but definitely not give it away, because I know everyone wants to actually get this book in their hot little hands.
Yeah, I'd love to, Annie. Thank you so much. So my chapter in Heart Warrior is titled Unlearning Womanhood. And the excerpt that I'd like to read for you today is about infertility grief. I'm often asked in media interviews, so Ali, how do you deal with infertility grief? And the truth is, there was no one right answer. Our grief, hello. So here goes. What I know is that healing isn't linear. Healing isn't neat nor predictable. It's very messy and inconvenient. The infertility stigma fits into the box of complex grief. It is both multifaceted and brutal. We grieve for a child that isn't even born yet. We grieve a role we'll never play. We grieve an experience we'll never have. We grieve an expectation of what we thought womanhood may be like. We grieve a future that we need to recreate and replace with another. We grieve for our parents when we don't deliver a grandchild. We grieve a life that is suddenly spacious. We grieve a lost identity as infertility constantly challenges our sexual identity and worth. We may even grieve again if we choose to visit motherhood later in life. We grieve so much that we forget what started our grieving in the first place. I don't know if we can or are meant to overcome grief, but I do know we are designed to get through it. Together, we will look in the eye, acknowledge the pain it has caused us, and say, today, grief, you are not mine. Only then will it seem less painful, less confusing. With time, space, and hope, we will discover that womanhood is brave, unrelenting, and bold.
Sorry about that. We just lost Ali's sound for a little wee second there, but that was just absolutely incredible. Incredible. I could feel the tears. I can feel the emotion. I can feel wow. Thank you. Thank you, Ali. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
Pause there. Sharon, how about we get you to read a little excerpt of your chapter? Oh, I've just lost Sharon's sound as well. I've lost your sound, Sharon. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry. So sorry, Ali. I was just saying this is something I'm so not used to. It's part of the whole growing into vulnerability. And when I look at my story, it's a pimple of my life experience. But I've mentioned the important bits, and there is a form of regret that I didn't write about more of those icky periods. However, one of the things I'm very proud of having done is having given up my career at a time when I probably needed to move forward with it. And the reason that I did that was because I had 2 young children. And so I emigrated at a time where things were not safe, and I needed to make a choice. So I've chosen this. Here we go. But my feet no longer fitted those glittery shoes. With no top billing in Australia, agents turned me away. Television channels used me as bait for one of their documentaries about auditioning for a lead role, edited in a profoundly biased way, which left me professionally scarred. It was a rude awakening. I had to learn to swim in much deeper waters. So, to survive, I decided to do what most performers do, teach. Surely it was a no-brainer, or was it? After all, I had been presenting for a few years prior to leaving South Africa. I discovered how to truly connect to an audience, and positive feedback that I received convinced me that I'd formulated unique techniques. Hence, it didn't take long to realize that I could teach these specialized techniques that no one else in Australia was teaching. So I jumped right into the deep end. I'm just skipping. I was accused of being unqualified and making money off unsuspecting candidates. I was furious. In fact, my anger Richter scale was off the charts. I'd not endured the challenging pain of emigration, culture shock, and the resurrection of my life for myself and my 2 kids to be annihilated by the seemingly sanctimonious presenter who had obviously not done her research.
Wow. 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 Having a career in a time of incredible challenge, that's still a challenge now, that's the thing. But to go through that time of incredible challenge when you're raising kids yourself, and you're actually just seeing how you're portrayed, how you're positioned, and that feeling, I imagine it's also you want to change it, but you also need the job, you also need the work, and there's so many times of incredible moral challenge that will surface in there. Oh goodness me, there's just so much to unpack there, but we won't do that because we want our readers to actually be able to reach out to us after they've read those full chapters and ask for more, and we will have that opportunity, and we've got people in the chat that I've also asked them to drop a line as well. We're going to welcome Lumbie Mlambo, who has come to us from America, and it's the middle of the night there, and we're really appreciative that she could get herself here. Lumbie has been able to write the foreword for our beautiful book, Heart Warrior. It is such an honour and privilege to have Lumbie be able to write this forward for us. She's a woman who's just getting award after award after award as a humanitarian doing works in Zimbabwe, and she's just in such an incredible space. So welcome, Lumbie, and I'd love you just to share a little bit about yourself then and why you were drawn to accept the opportunity to write the forward for this book.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, all the authors. Thank you so much, Annie, for giving me the opportunity to write the forward. I don't take it lightly because it was really an honor to have been asked to write the forward. So it's an incredible book. So I would encourage everybody to get the book and read it, because the stories in it are going to shock you. They're amazing, uplifting, very powerful, straight from the heart. These are heart warriors right here. So I encourage everybody to do that. Myself, I do highlight it a little bit in the forward, who I am and what I do. But I am a philanthropist, and I run a nonprofit called JB Dondolo that provides water, actually clean water, sanitation, and hygiene to underserved and impoverished communities to reduce poverty and to promote gender equity. Having said that, we focus on women and girls who are tasked with the collection of water, and they have to work as to find water in the most dangerous terrains and risking their lives. So we give them back time. We give them back their time so they focus on themselves, you know, um, improving themselves, going back to school, attaining income earning skills so that they can be productive in their communities and achieve the things that they want to achieve. So I'm very excited to be given this opportunity. To everyone, your stories are incredible. I started reading the book and I'm just like blown away by the stories, really blown away. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, and I look forward, um, to sharing the book to everyone, to everywhere, and we wish everybody success. Thank you so much, Annie.
Oh, thank you, Lumbie. Thank you so much. I'm just so privileged to have you with us. And for those of you who've never even thought of, well, what does a humanitarian, a philanthropist do with water? I tell you what, when you know that women around the world, in certain parts, they're spending up to like 6 hours a day just trying to go and get clean water for their families. The consequence of that, with their education, their self-care, their, any personal needs that they might have. Oh my goodness, they are robbed instantly from their potential. And so it is just such breathtakingly important work that you do, Lumbie, and we are just so proud of you and the work that you do, and we are so thrilled that you could write the foreword to this book. And I know Lumbie is going to be sharing about Heart Warrior around the world when she's sharing at different events as well. And we are so thankful for that because we want these stories to be heard. Fantastic. We can welcome Kelly. Kelly Markey has been able to join us, which is absolutely wonderful. Welcome, Kelly. I'll get you to say a quick hello to everybody.
Hi, thank you, Annie, for having me on this platform, and it's great to be part of this journey, and also with the other woman. Congratulations. Wow, we make a charcuterie board look bland, don't we? So I have actually concentrated on my corporate experience in this book because I've written a memoir that focuses more on my personal experience. And I guess in corporate, we also have our personal life getting enmeshed. And what I wanted to bring to the forefront is the way humanity and society is driven by deliverables and targets and budgets, and don't really see the human element and what we are going through, and the fact that we are human. And I think that came through a common thread during lockdown. People were valued more and seen as humans rather than just a resource. So I talk about my experience traversing from a foreign country into a new country and still having to deliver, despite circumstances, and to navigate divorce, domestic violence, infertility, miscarriage. All through that, I felt unheard and unseen in the corporate environment. So one of the things that I'd like to read is just a little blurb from my chapter is entitled Panache Despite Circumstances. We are all bombarded with the salient needs to be authentic and valuable and vulnerable. Yet, when we are summoned the courage to do so, it is often met without delight. Management and human resources prefer not to peel back the layers and deal with the root cause. Most frequently, the ostrich syndrome is thrust upon us, and we are mandated to develop amnesia and move on. Employment is also about the right fit within a culture where your values align. I will never sell my soul in exchange for a salary. I will always exert freedom and execute my. I am the example by the command of my decision. This is really close to my heart because I've worked in so many corporate arenas, and I've given a taste of some of the projects and vendors that I've worked with. Made a significant difference on the international landscape. Yet I've never felt valued as a human being. I've always felt like I was just another resource. Occasionally you get people that would tap into the human element, but it's not permanent, it's superficial. So I'm hoping, along with the other amazing testimonies in the book, we're going to change the narrative for humanity. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. Oh, my goodness. We sure are. We are doing our bit to change the narrative for humanity, that's for sure. And we've also got Kes Wilkinson George has joined us on the chat as well, and she's really looking forward already to reviewing this book, and she's going to do an amazing review, I'm sure, and be able to tell everybody. So thanks for joining us as well, Kes. I'd love to hand over now to Sunny. Sunny, would you be able to share a little bit about your chapter?
Thank you. Hoping this time my audio is better. I didn't know I have an echo a lot. I apologize for these noises. My book is about the self-discovery journey. And what I really discover is my identity cannot be defined, because we are all evolving. We are all become a better version of the next moment. So I would like to read my fourth phase that is about my journey from looking for outside, for happiness, for peace, for everything, and turn into inner and try to figure out who is me. So let me read this paragraph down here. And it just, I realized that a lot of things I'm not, because I mentioned about nobody can define ourself, because ourself is such an amazing energy and there's no word to describe it. So I already discovered I'm not my thoughts, not my words, but I'm just going to read the one talk about I'm not my emotion. I also realized that I'm not my emotions. Scientists have reported that people can be triggered to feel happy, excited, lonely, sad, angry, worried, or afraid. What bioelectrical currents or certain chemicals in the laboratory setting. We can also have certain emotions in response to environmental triggers or conditioned beliefs based on our experience on habits. Emotions are waves, and I can strategically redirect these waves using pauses. As a tiny habit certified coach trained directly by Dr. B.J. Fogg, a world-renowned behavior scientist at Stanford University, I completely agree with his observation based on the extensive amount of collected data. Habit design is emotion design. Thus, we are the co-creator of our emotions and habits, but we are not our emotions. And later, but last but not least, I have become fully aware that I'm not even my physical body. Gee, this concept was not easy for me to grasp at first. I need to credit the modern science breakthroughs and ancient traditions that have helped me tremendously to reach this realization. So I would skip to the last phase about I'm life itself. All the adversities I encountered were my unseen grace that I needed to embrace and experience. That me, M-E in capital, is just a fractal conditioned self that resonates with the collective human suffering experience. Therefore, I'm not me either. So I just want to share that it's really, we are part of the humanity. We are the fractal reality. So everything we experience is so important for the whole humanity. And regardless is anger or happy and all that, this is all emotion spectrums our human has. So we need to honor that. And I just want to get back to everybody here. We are sharing our heart together and also hoping our vibration energy can reach far and everybody will start to resonate with our messages. Back to you, Annie.
Thank you so much, Sunny. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, I've got to see if I can get these little comments here. Ali, here's one from Amy. Amy, I'm neither my words, thoughts, nor emotions. Thank you for sharing that. My identity cannot be defined. Yes. This one from Kez. They absolutely are. Can't wait to review this powerful book. Oh, and Lumbie. There we go. Amy's saying, hi, Lumbie. You've got a fan out there. This is really great. Thank you so much for sharing on the chat as well. I'm going to hand over now to Helen. Helen, would you love to share for us?
My chapter seems to be quite long, so I'll just usurp a little bit.
Or just a snippy.
Yeah, so I won't. People who read the book will know where I started, but I'll go to about the middle. You cannot believe what it's like to lose a child unless you experience this for yourself, and I certainly do not wish it upon any mother or parent for that matter. With tears rolling down my cheeks, I looked upward towards the sky and asked the divine for mercy and blessings to keep me strong until the day I would see my beloved child again in the life thereafter. So when I wrote a letter to my son, it helped soothe my breaking heart night after night. And it was only after writing down how I felt that I was able to finally find relief. I found journaling so beneficial that I decided to create the 5-star rated Women's Think and Grow Journal to keep you accountable, motivated, and inspired for bigger, bolder, higher goals. So let's go a little bit further down. The fateful night my son died, he happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Although the perpetrator received life imprisonment, he was allowed out after 4 years in jail because he showed such remorse about killing a man he didn't even know. To be honest, it really didn't matter, nor did I really care what degree of justice the perpetrator was served, because my heart was full of sorrow for my son. I would never see him again, and no one would ever return him to me. I was there for my son in life, and I was there for him in death. Death is final. Life can be a bitch. Deep grief takes its toll. I did everything to help myself, to heal my broken heart, but it continues to be painful. I created a place of healing, a sacred healing altar at home soon after he died. This was where I could find solace, meditate, pray, and feel connected in spirit to my child. My little altar was my sacred place. It was just a special table with a beautiful tablecloth where I placed my favorite photograph of my son. I'd buy fresh flowers, light a candle and spend time reflecting on what my son really and truly meant to me, how much I missed him and how difficult it was, and still is, to live without him. And then I'd move on for the day, as I knew there were others who needed me. Shedding a few more tears and talking to my boy in my journal also made me feel better, and I did this for as long as it took to heal after loss. So I believe I'm now living over the edge in faith, replacing sad thoughts with something that makes you laugh, changes your mood in an instant. And it is an incredible feeling. Try it, it really works. A happier future awaits you, but you must name it and claim it for it to happen. To experience the metamorphosis of coming through overwhelming grief to becoming passionate about living life with confidence and clarity, as well as becoming a successful female business entrepreneur, spells freedom. Please be the next woman to get the results you desire, to find what makes you happy, to find your freedom, because you are so worthy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Helen. Oh my goodness. Oh,
That's only a little bit of the book, of the story.
only a little bit. It's only a little bit. And we know that everyone watching and hearing about this book is going to want to buy the whole book because we want to read these stories. We want to read them, but we also want to read them for a few reasons, I think. I don't know what it's like for you, but when I'm reading a book, I'm reading it like, well, what do I get out of it? And then I'm also reading it from what was this person's authentic journey like? This person, how did they even feel when they wrote how they even bounced back and survived and coped through this time of incredible trauma. How did you go on to then even become such a successful professional woman? They're all things that as you're reading different stories, you're trying to imagine different perspectives, and then how do those, what your strength and honesty, is all coming through in that sort of that story of, that journey of I'm feeling so much stronger because I've survived, but also, you're not bitter, you're not angry, but you would have been in this time, and how honest and raw you are with your emotions. I thank you so much for sharing that, Helen, and it must have been such a profound experience to be able to do. Oh my goodness. All right. I thank all the ladies, and I know that Karen McDermott did drop in for a little minute, but I unfortunately didn't see her in the backstage, and she did have to pop off to visit someone in hospital, and so we thank Karen for coming anyway. There's a message there from JL. Let me just pop that on the screen. Your son chose you as his mother. How fortunate. Hold the time he was with you, for he learnt from you and you for him. There is power and empowerment for your readers. Thank you, JL. That is really, really beautiful. Oh my goodness. Don't even know where to go. I'm going to read you just a little wee bit from mine. I've written the first chapter and the last chapter, as I do with my anthologies. And as I said before, those listening in, if you're wanting to become part of an anthology, definitely just reach out to me, and we will make that happen for you. Thank you, Rev Jocelyn. She's saying powerful launch, and Rev Jocelyn's in our next anthology. This part of my story is called Hear Me Roar. And it basically is showing why I actually created Women's Biz Global, and why I do, am spending the rest of my days just empowering women. And it says, it goes without saying that as a leader for women's empowerment, I have to touch on the topic of equality and equity. However, this book is not a vehicle for political opinion. Instead, I want it to trigger change. Throughout my career, I have been the gender minority in the boardroom and at conferences. I used to scan convention centre lobbies at post-event reception, thinking, where are all the women? Fortunately, I can say that I've always been treated with respect. albeit the odd debasing comment from time to time. In many ways, my experiences have been relatable enough to speak about, but at times damaging enough to silence me. However, I know that this is not the same for all women in my position, and that is why I believe that we can and must do more. From time to time, I've spoken to friends and colleagues who haven't had it that so easy, and this really irks me. However, as a global success catalyst for all women and girls, I understand the importance of needing to lead with conviction and grace. We need to not fight anger with anger, but instead take it on head on with our intelligence, humility, emotional entourage, gusto, diversity, intrigue, capacity, and tenacity. As heart warriors, it is our contractual right to fight for what's right with moral obligation. We will roar with silence. However, we must, and I mean absolutely must, speak the truth. And lastly, for those without a voice, we will speak their truth for them. That's just a wee little bit of my couple of chapters. And I'm totally a passionate heart warrior. For those of you who've just had a dose of me, everything I do with my heart. It just leads my every movement and every opportunity that I have with those that I share with. And it is just such a joy to be able to lead the charge in this book, and also just hear so many different perspectives. The different perspectives in anthologies are always just so powerful and so challenging. We've just got someone in our back room, so I'm going to just let her in. Hello, this is Julie.
Hi.
Where are you joining us from, Julie?
Oh, from Sydney. Sorry, I didn't realize I had my mic on. So
It's my daughter.
That's right, that's your daughter. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How lovely that you've come to your mum's launch in person. I absolutely love that so much. So, well, you must be so proud of your mum. She's just one incredible woman and a powerhouse, a real powerhouse. So thank you so much for coming to share in her moment. Wow. Well, we won't keep you all. Oh, here we are. We have another comment from here we are. Hima. Hi, Kelly. I'm also one of the corporate employees and been treated as a resource to increase their cash flow rather than recognizing that there are human emotions working for this in order to bring emotional life to others. So true. So true. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Hima. Keep those comments coming in the chat. For those of you, we're going to close in a minute because we've been going for 47 minutes. We are absolutely thrilled to launch this incredible book tonight. As I said before, there will be something that is just going to connect with you with absolutely every chapter. They are powerful, powerful stories, and these are powerful women. They're women who might not feel powerful at times. They're women who will often go, I love it. You, Sharon, going, I'm just a little blip or a little something. And that's often how we feel. We can feel insignificant. We can feel like, well, what difference does my life have in the world? Or what difference will my story have on anyone else? And I tell you what, it's profound. We're all born on this planet for a reason. And when we show up as that person, despite the obstacles, through the storms, and we just keep coming and coming and coming through to the other end, you then become this refined, amazing diamond that has just been chiseled by nature, and you just, you can stand tall. And you become more powerful because you have stood those storms, and if you dive into any of your stories, any of the stories in Heart Warrior, and Lumbie's story is incredibly powerful as well, that we often were born with challenges that we had at birth, or challenges that happened along the way, but that is life. And there are so many times that we just look at life from the glossy version, the Insta version, the this, the that. But I love real women. I love real women's stories, because real women are the women that we should be connecting with. They're the ones who can be our role models. They are the women who can lead us in our journey, because they will say it as it is. They will see things honestly from a different perspective, and they are strong. They are strong, capable, amazing, powerful powerhouses. And so I honor all of the ladies in this book. I know there are many more of you. Patty Grover, I'm sorry we weren't able to see you today, but appreciate it's the wee small hours. Dr. Talat Uppal, we know that you are celebrating at a wedding, and but your story is amazing. We know who else am I missing? Chippy and everybody. Dr. Laura Cobb is in America as well, and I've already shared with you that Karen has a child in hospital, but they're all here in presence. They're all here in presence, and they're all here in this book. So get your hands on it, and also, as well as just buying this book, which we're obviously encouraging you to do, but also to read it. I want you to read it in a way that you would go, I'm going to reach out to that author. I'm going to tell that author something that just really resonated with me about their chapter. I tell you what, as an author, when someone has done that to me, it just blows your mind. It just makes you cry. It's like, oh my gosh, my words do matter. It is an incredible thing. So for those of you who are watching and then going to be reading this beautiful book in the next few weeks, I encourage you to do that. You can contact everybody through Women's Biz Global, any of our socials. You will see their postings. You can connect with me, and I will forward you on to any of the authors, because they're incredibly approachable, relatable, beautiful souls who would love to share with you. We also invite you to all put up your books. And so those who are on the screen at the moment, put your books up so that we can get a beautiful photo of you later on. That is fantastic. And I also encourage all of you, when you buy this book, to actually just post a picture and tag us, because we love seeing you with this book, as well as what resonated with you, which is the most important thing. We want to know that this book has impact on different people's lives. So thank you so much for those of you who were able to join us. I know you're across many platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook. You're also on our webinar system. It's been wonderful to have some live comments from our viewers, and we really appreciate you giving up your time to help us launch Heart Warrior. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.